Hey everybody, and welcome to Meals with Melissa, where I come up with healthier options of things that you like to eat. So yes, it is pumpkin spice season, and if you don't like it, tough patooties. I love pumpkin spice. Not in everything, but I do love my pumpkin spice. So in honor of October, you're just gonna get more than one recipe. Plus, I had a good friend and client of mine that gave me a really awesome recipe. So this is a protein pumpkin waffle. It's gonna be phenomenal. We are using some protein here. Now, just a quick side note on that, not every protein powder works for baking or cooking, so keep that in mind. There are some brands that work better than others. You might have to just try it out, just do a little testing and see if that works for you. All right, so first of all, I actually have my little mini waffle iron all heated and ready to go. I don't have a big one because we don't make waffles that often. We just tend to do fun little snack size ones when we do. All right, so I'm gonna start with 1 egg, and I don't have a clear bowl. You're just gonna have to bear with me today. I've got dishes going on in the dishwasher below me. Okay, so I'm gonna start with 1 egg. Now I am gonna add some almond milk and some egg whites, but I'm gonna hold off on that because I need to make this batter a little more thicker. The original batter, or the original recipe, is for pancakes. So we gotta make that a little bit thicker in order to make our waffles turn out the way that we want. So to this, I'm going to add 1 scoop of protein. Again, I'm using a product that I do carry, and I do know that it cooks well. So this brand is called Syntrax. The product itself is called Nectar. It is a whey isolate product, and it does not contain, it's solely protein. It does not contain carbs, fats, or sugars. Okay, so 1 scoop of that is gonna go in here. Okay, to that, I'm going to add a little bit of, I'm going to kind of eyeball this one, but I'm going to add a little bit of pumpkin pie spice. Now, you could actually use cinnamon, works just fine. I just happen to really enjoy pumpkin pie spice, so I'm going to add a little bit of that, and I'm just going to eyeball this one. Now, try it once, because once you do the recipe, you can always add or subtract or change things around to meet the needs of what you like. All right, so to that, I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of rolled oats. Okay. Yeah, you could do steel cut. I personally don't like the texture of those. I do just use the regular original rolled oats. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to also add about 2 tablespoons of almond milk. And like I said, I'm going to see how well it goes, and then I might add a little bit of egg whites in order to make sure that the texture is just right. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of almond milk. Believe it or not, that is actually 1/8 cup. Yeah, most people are like, I don't understand how to measure 1/8 cup. 2 tablespoons, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna mix that up really quick. I'm gonna see how that ends up turning out, and then we'll add our egg whites to that. Pretty good. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to add a little bit of egg whites to that. All right. I'm super excited, I can smell it, and I love pumpkin pie spice. Oh my goodness, it's so awesome. Okay, now if it gets a little too thin, you can always add a little more protein powder to that. Also, we need to add our pumpkin. So really quick, I'm going to add some pumpkin puree. Now I opened this last week for our no-bake pumpkin spice energy bites. So it's already open and ready to go. I'm trying to use it up. I have 0 issues doing multiple pumpkin pie options. All right, so I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons to that. I love the smell, I cannot help it. Yep, like I said, if you don't like it, you don't have to try the recipe, but I do love this. All right, so let me mix this up. Pretty good, pretty good. I really don't know that I need to add a whole lot of the egg whites. I almost think I'm gonna add a little more protein powder. And I'm using vanilla protein powder because of course it goes best with almost any flavor that you're doing. I do know that some brands of protein powder do carry a pumpkin. You might have to look out a little bit for that, but there we go. I'm using the powder because I want it to be just a smidge thicker than, like, because obviously, like I said, I'm not doing pancakes. So, all right. So, and again, if you want to play with the texture, by all means, it does give you a little license to kind of play around with it a little bit to see what works best for you. All right, so like I said, my waffle iron over here is heated. I'm gonna just use a little bit of pan spray. Not a huge fan of pan spray, just so you know, but I'm gonna use a little bit in order to make sure it doesn't stick. You could probably use a little bit of coconut oil. Try it, see if that works for you. But of course, I'm working with a little bit I just need some quick convenience here. And I'm just gonna pour a little bit on there. Now, okay, probably a little more than I needed there. That's okay. Like I said, I know the general gist of how the batter works, and so we'll just see how that goes, and we'll decide whether or not we need to add a little bit to it. Now, to top it, of course, you can use some sugar-free syrup. This is monk fruit. Works really well. Should keep you in ketosis if you are on a keto diet or super low carb. There's a couple of other options. In my household, we use a lot of sugar-free caramel syrup, but just realize that does contain some sucralose, and that does tend to spike blood sugar, even though they say that it is non-nutritive, which honestly means there's 0 calories, but doesn't usually quite work that way. So depends on how you feel about that. Your other options, you can also use, and I know I have some because I had it for a recipe a few weeks ago. If you want to use a little bit of 0 sugar Ready Whip, just remember it is a processed food, so it just really comes down to how much processed you actually want in your nutrition. Now, at my house, we try to be optimal, so we really, really try hard not to use a lot of processed food, but once in a while we'll throw this in there because, of course, you gotta live, right? So let's see how that's going. Now, of course, when the little light goes off, that means it's done, but I'm feeling like I just want to check a little. Ooh, it actually looks really good, so let me grab a plate. It's just about done. Looking good, looking good. Like I said, be creative. One of the best parts about eating healthy is that it doesn't have to be bland or taste bad. You just have to kind of see what works best for you and find your groove. All right, light went off. Oh, look at that. Dang, that actually turned out really, really surprisingly well. So there you go. All right, I'm going to include the recipe down below. I'm going to include the original recipe. Realize you can use it as pancakes, or if you really want to try the waffles, you can actually make it a little bit thicker so you have a little bit thicker batter, and it should work out really, really well. Let me know what you think. If you guys try this, I love to know your response. Does it work? Did it taste good? Did you add something that made it a little bit different? Either leave a comment down below or you can message me directly at Facebook Messenger. Now, you guys, my very best ideas come from you. If you have a recipe, especially in the fall right now, that you'd love to share, let me know. That's where we come up with these great ideas that we are able to share with each other as a community. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching it on Facebook and you haven't been on YouTube yet, make sure you jump over to YouTube and find my channel under Fillmore Fitness, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so anytime we post something new, you've got a great recipe to add to the variety you already use. So have an incredible night. Try it out. Happy Halloween. Happy pumpkin spice season. Have a good one, guys. Bye now.